What's up, YouTube? Len Last Disbelief here, and I was working on the next review for y'all, and it's gonna be the real grade Banshee Norn that I got from Mr. Mooseman, and I ended up with the common issue people have with the unicorn mold. It happened in both arms initially, or it happened in one arm, and I thought I had it fixed, and I did not. So, I'm filming this for y'all today. It's going to be my first Let's Fix It video. Hopefully going to be an actual long series of videos, I'm hoping. But, the L piece in the joint, and you will notice, when I was working on it, let's actually go ahead and get this completely removed. This part, which everybody has issues with, broke. You can tell that there's a break right there. So, the part number, not super sure, so I'm going to look it up while I talk here. But, essentially what happens is the arms are made out of the pre-molded ABS frame of most early real grades, and it broke on me. So, like what happened with most people. Part G35 on both of these. So, part of me is wondering if maybe these are reversible. It doesn't look like it, though. So, we're not going to try that. But today's Let's Attempt to Fix It video, or Let's Fix It video, is going to be me trying to get these parts fixed so my Banshee Norn can have his arms back, and I can finish the review. So, I'm just going to re-review the whole thing, or restart the review, and hopefully it'll be out shortly. But anyways, my advice, and it's something I did today, is this, let's see, this piece right here, this entire assembly, loosen it. Find some way to move the joint consistently, quite a bit. On mine, I had to take a pair of pliers. Just hold it on there while I consistently turn the joint. So, and I do this for a good while, not to make it super loose, but to loosen it up enough that it doesn't end up breaking. And again, this one was already broken, so I was able to do that way. Now, if you're going to do it like this, I do recommend if you're going to use a pair of pliers, use the inside open end if you still got the peg on there like this arm does. It'll keep everything solid, but at the same time, you're not going to break the peg. And as you can see, it's actually pretty loose now. It'll just probably scratch that up a bit. The peg's unaffected for the most part, but it makes it a lot easier to move. And especially if yours have already broke like mine, and with this peg, I don't know how I'm going to fix it. I'm probably just going to end up having to glue it back on there and just keep it in destroy mode, which sucks. Or Banshee Norn, or Unicorn mode, because I already have 2 high-grade Banshees that are in destroy mode. Sorry. But, so, yeah. This does suck, and it is an issue with the real grade Unicorn series, and I should have been more careful with it, seeing as I got it from a friend who, already had it kind of happen to him. Mr. Mooseman, I thank you for this, and he did warn me, so this is completely on me, not on him. So nobody flood his comment section of all his videos, accusing him of not warning me. But, so, I just wanted to, this is kind of, and I know everybody has heard this on multiple different reviews, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with it, because you've heard it, you already know it's going to happen, you can be aware of it. This is a fix-it attempt, so I'll be right back with the tools that you can use, that I'm going to use at least. So, yeah. Okay, so first we're going to use the Pour Type Mr. Hobby Cement. Fast drying. I bought it for like $3 at Hobby Lobby. So, as well as possibly a hobby knife. I'm going to put in the description a list of tools you'll need. So if you don't see this in there, but it's in the video, if it's not in the description, it means I didn't end up using it. A little pin vise or little drill. Again, hopefully we're not going to need this. I've got an idea on this arm that's already broken that I want to try. So, and as of right now, that should be it. If I have any, again, they'll be in the description. So, again, if you don't see them in the description, that means you most likely don't need them. I'm going to do my best to put them down there if I use them. If not, I apologize. So, let's get to it. And most likely tweezers. I forgot to put those in there, but my straight edge ones have disappeared. I don't know where they went. Doing decals the other day on my Master Grade F91 and misplaced them. Hopefully they show up shortly, but so. What I'm going to try on the arm that's already broken, and I don't know if I've got any, so I got to look first, but I'm hoping that I can just drill a hole through here and this part and attach it and call that good. I don't know if that'll work. That's why this is an attempt. I mean, of course it'll go this way, but this is the first one we're going to do because this one's only cracked on the side. I'm going to try and take my tweezers and get it spread out enough like that I can get my glue in on the inside and then have it put back together and hopefully get some kind of clamp on there. I don't have a vise, a small clamp. That might work. So before I truly get into this and end up screwing myself over, I'm going to try and see if these small hobby clamps that I got will work as well. It's not looking like it. Maybe if I remove it, okay, I can't. Maybe I can. Okay, from the looks of it, I can't remove those edges, which sucks, because I don't have any other way. Actually, I did. Okay, remove these. Hopefully, this will work, because I want it to have the same strength as it used to have. Does that leave any like stress marks on it? Okay. Shit. Okay, don't try and do that, people. You'll end up with what I just did. If you'll notice, that just was way too strong and completely fucked that over. I'm going to have to... He's going to be missing an arm at least permanently, unless I, again, glue that into place. And I'm going to try. And it may not work. I doubt it will. But will this still at least go in there? Okay. It'll kind of go in there, so... Let's try getting some glue. Essentially, this is what you'd want to do to it if you broke it, if you've got that already broken. Essentially, take your piece. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. If you've got your piece that's already broken, you'd want to try and get it lined back up as good as possible and get some glue in where it broke, like I'm about to do. This isn't going to be good on camera at all, either. Just kind of get a good amount of glue put on it, so that way it'll get cemented back in. Okay, and then just kind of hold it until it dries, and then you should be good. Okay, that's what it'll look like when you've got the glue put on. I'm not going to try putting it back into the piece. I honestly think this is actually the part that goes into the psycho frame. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. So, we're going to leave that to dry completely for hopefully a couple hours. In the meantime, let's try and move on to the other one and hope I can get it fixed. Okay, so for the second fix, what I'm going to essentially try to do is actually, hold on. Does that piece fit in there? Actually, it does. Essentially, I'm going to try and do the same thing as before. But hopefully I can get... I've got this piece on the runner that actually does fit into here. So we're going to have to try and drill this out, this peg out that broke, and then drill into here to get that peg glued in. And that's actually, it's not that hard of a joint. So we're going to grab the nippers here so I can get it off the runner. Okay, just like that. Going to cut the nubs off. Okay, now I'm going to want to take this peg off, and it may, just like that. Okay, now I have my peg. Actually, I'm going to get the tweezers here so that way I don't lose it. So now, maybe, the plan is to drill this out. So I'm going to have to find, hope I have a drill bit in here that's big enough to do the job. Alrighty, get back in there. So I don't have one big enough to do it that way, which does suck. But I at least have one big enough to get it started. Essentially what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this off screen because it's a little hard to do in my hand. I'm going to drill out this right here. So, do that off screen, and we will hopefully have everything. Hopefully it'll work. So this is kind of my progress so far. We're about hopefully halfway through. Hopefully almost all the way. But that's essentially what you're going to want to do here. Okay, now we've got our hole drilled. And you can see already that this is not going to be big enough, which does suck. And I don't think I have anything small enough to get put in there, except maybe a beam saber handle. Yeah, a beam saber would actually be perfect to get right in there. So, I don't want to use a beam saber. I'm not sure I do have anything, period. Maybe... Kind of interesting. Let's first see if I can even get a hole drilled into this part of it. And I'm not going to drill all the way through, as I might be able to just glue the peg in there and essentially create a new peg is what I'm going to try and do initially. If that doesn't work, then we'll go from there. But again, I'm going to do it off screen just because it's a little easier instead of trying to get it done here like so. Well, that doesn't, it's not too hard. So, I'll be right back. Okay, so essentially it wasn't thick enough, or the piece wasn't thick enough, and actually this is where that hobby knife might come in, because this is kind of rubbery plastic, so maybe get a hobby knife in there, kind of clean any excess bits of it up. But this is essentially what we want. So, now we just got to find something that will go through both parts, and hopefully can be cemented into here. Into that right there. So I'm going to do that, and if I find something, I'll let y'all know what I find. Okay, so I had a beam saber in that I'm going to use because that end got ridiculously messed up. But first, let's see if I can get this to go through here. Okay, I'm going to have to mess with the hole a little bit. Pull it out. Okay, that should work, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, we're going to put this down all the way. Actually enough to where I can kind of still move it a little bit. Right about there. Jesse, hush. Sorry about that. Dog's being a little loud. Okay. And then I actually need to put it back on here so that way I can figure out the right way it needs to go. And actually, we'll pull those instructions back out so I don't screw it up twice. Maybe we won't. Okay. So essentially, chest is supposed to go down like this, and this is supposed to go like that, correct? Yes. Okay. So, we're good. Won't screw this up, hopefully. So, slide that down on there. Okay. It's a loose joint. Okay, kind of. So we're going to move that down there before I cement it. I'm going to get that cemented in. Hopefully this will work. So, take the glue. Didn't mean to hit the camera there. You're going to want to get a lot of glue in here. Okay. Once you get enough glue in there, pull this up to about there and let it dry. Okay, coming back to this one. This is the part that goes right in there too. So, I think it's time to make sure that that glue is good enough that we can get it put back on here. We might have to disassemble it some. At this point though, that's okay. 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 That is wrong. Well, it's strong enough that it'll let us get it back off, so that's a good sign. Okay, get this. Put it back on. Okay, so, again, that's the bit that broke twice. So let's see if we can at least get the psycho frame back on without any issues. And we're good. Still moves and everything. So now it's just trying to fix, that there. And I don't know if there's a good way to fix that either. Let's get his arm. And I may just have to deal with a bunch of looseness and occasional falling off. I'm going to try and glue a little bit on there to try and get it a little tighter, though. So, let's see. And I may not be able to. I doubt I'm going to. But I want to get at least a temporary fix until I can get a replacement part ordered. And again, while yes, it is a good temporary, it's an okay temporary fix, I don't want to do that. Because that's just loose and it's gonna bug me. I know it is. Come back to our other piece, that dry. Okay, that dried. So, now we're gonna cut this. Well, maybe it could fit on there with the bottom piece on. I doubt it, but we're gonna try. Because if I can keep that on there, all the better. Okay, if that'll fit, don't knock the glue over. That'll be bad. When I find, there it is. Well, crap. Maybe it's not. Okay. Good news is it wasn't glued enough to where we couldn't fix it. So, now you just got to try and get that glued in there. Again, slide this on there. Okay, I want to glue it into here. actually. So maybe... Okay, that got real loose. Except that's too tight now. Okay, well, interesting. Okay, well, we're essentially going to glue this into here. Well, no, we can't even glue that into there because that has to, I don't think glue would take well to this. Because otherwise I would glue it that way. And just kind of, that's just not strong enough. See, that's just no longer tight enough either. But if I do it this way, this doesn't look like it. Maybe it would fit. Doesn't look like it would fit. Huh? It actually does fit. Color me impressed. And then just get it put in there, and not a super loose joint. Actually, if I can get this moved down a little more, that would be even better. Let's see if we can get it moved down a little more. Then glue won't even be needed. Just rely on the tightness of the peg, like we naturally would. And, hey, it actually works. So, we might actually glue it a little bit now, because if I can get, well, can't get a replacement part ordered for the entire arm. So, just nip that. Nip that and get it reattached. And there we go. One arm is fixed. Just might have to deal with it coming untabbed occasionally. But it moves, kinda, and it's not really super loose, so I wanted to put some metal down in there, but I don't think I've got the right parts. So, this is a temporary fix for now. If I can't find any metal piping that'll work for it, because now, as you can tell, it is kind of loose. But it doesn't look like I really have much of a choice. But it is, for the most part, fixed. And maybe with the Psycho frame on here, let's actually go ahead and get that put back on. Yeah, you really don't have to worry about it falling off or anything. Let's get it. So, no, you don't really have to worry about it falling off like that. So, there you go. A good temporary fix, and it's not going to fall off or anything. Let's see if we can do this side now. But essentially, that's it for now on that arm. This is my own personal issue. I will continue filming. Actually, no, because at this point, this is my own issue, and I'm probably just going to do that for it right now and just hope that it'll stay on there and just be really, really, really loose. Because there's really nothing else I can do for that arm because of the way it broke, which is fine. So that's essentially it for the fix, because that I'm just going to have to order a replacement part. I don't have a choice, because that's going to bug me, and I don't want to glue it in. That's what caused that, is I accidentally put too much glue, and I went to move the arm, and it broke. So, but essentially, when you're moving the arm, my best bet is to grab it like this and move it. See, even on, wow. Not even on that side. Nor, naturally, that's how I'd tell you to do it, though. So, if I do get it fixed, I'll make a YouTube short on how I did it. But for right now, it's fixed. One side is fixed. So, that's it for today's Let's Fix This. Maybe this will become a regular thing. I hope not. Because if it becomes a regular thing, then that means there's something going on with my building skills. So, for now, that'll be it. Bye.